Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Man the Maker, and welcome to a new Let's Play series for Old World, put out by Mohawk Games in early access as of right now. Created by the lead designer, I want to say, Soren Johnson, lead designer of Civilization 4, which is a great civilization. They're all pretty great. Is there a bad one? I don't know. I like them all as far as I can remember. Anyways, we're playing Old World. It's a little bit different. It's Civilization-like, but it's got a lot of new ideas, blending of a little bit of... People say Crusader Kings in there because you've got to manage kind of families and opinions and characters in there as well. It's got a lot more events going on, and I can see that. But I really do like the game. Still in early access. We've played it twice before on this channel. Once on the hardest difficulty, and we got our asses kicked. And we are going to do it again on the hardest difficulty. Though we're going to hedge our bets a little bit. Try something else a little bit different. Something I've been testing a little bit to hopefully actually be able to survive. So we are going to be playing it on the hardest difficulty. If you're new to the game, this isn't explicitly a tutorial, but I will explain things as we go along. So, you can stick around for that. But again, we are playing on the hardest difficulty, so definitely going to be challenges for everyone. All right, let's just go ahead and dive in. Single player, new game. We're playing as Rome. Once again, we played as Rome before. I mean, you have all these old world powers. Assyria, Greece, Persia, Egypt, Carthage, Babylonia, Assyria. All of which, have their own particular perks. But you know what? We're starting as Rome because on this difficulty, I really think that military power early on is going to make the difference. As well as the other reason why we're both picking Rome and why I'm a little bit more confident than last time. I mean, I'm not going to go into what these stats mean, but suffice to say that we are a little bit better at fighting, producing units, leveling up our units and such in the early game. So that's going to help us out there. And then the other part that we're going to do is we are going to be playing on a pre-made map, and we're going to start in the old world. And the reason that helps out a little bit is, I mean, we're Rome, so we start on a peninsula, which really makes such a difference to only have to worry about being attacked from one direction, I gotta say. Still, we still might get absolutely trounced here, and maybe we even survive the early game but end up losing towards the end of the game. We're gonna have to see. We're gonna have to see what happens. I expect things to be tough. I have played a little bit on my own to kind of test things out, feel things out, and we've had some success, but it sure ain't easy. It sure ain't easy. One thing I'm gonna do that is non-default here, go down all the way, we are gonna do play to win. AI nations will try to keep each other, including you, from winning. So we're going to turn that on. I don't know if this is going to make things more difficult for me or easier for me. I mean, maybe they'll stop each other from winning long enough for us to rise to power. Or maybe they all gang up on us when we're getting close to winning and manage to defeat us. We'll see. Does that stay? That should stay. I will also just say, playing on the great means you just start with a lot less stuff than you otherwise do when you're playing on the lower difficulties. One of the greatest things about this game, by the way, is that I got tooltips. Well, no, I want to look. I can zoom in on the tooltips, and then okay. There's even a nested. It's such a great feature. Kudos, really, applause. I love it. It makes such a nice difference. So we start with less stuff. We're gonna have more discontent. So people are gonna be pretty unhappy. Our capital city just is less productive as well than otherwise. War probability is high. We're likely to get raided, 10% per turn that we get raided by tribes, which are like minor factions, minor civs, I guess you could say. They're not one of the greats, but they're there, and they don't kind of progress in the same way. As well as existing nations start with an average of 5 cities. So the rest of the world, yeah, they're going to be quite developed, and we got to play a lot of catch up here. So we're going to go ahead and do that on the great. I think that's enough said. Let's go ahead and dive in. Start that game, baby. So as we go through, like I said, I am going to explain a little bit of the game, though we're not going to try not to dwell for too long. So we'll take things as they come and just kind of explain some things. like I said. But again, if you're a veteran of the game, I think there's still going to be plenty to see here. We are on a hard difficulty, and this is not explicitly a tutorial. So, we are King Romulus, the founder of Rome. We are a schemer and we're ruthless. You can see here we've got some stats that affect things. We're wise, so we just get additional science. We're just because of our wisdom, our culture just puts out more science than otherwise. But we lack discipline, so we're a little bit loose with the purse strings there. All right, good to know. We want to found our capital. Let's go ahead and found our capital. Boom. Right off the bat, we got stuff going on all over here. The map, hey, you guys are familiar with mini maps. That's nice. An easy entry point. We can just go and take a look. Nice little red dot there. Isn't that comforting? Up here we got our resources. Gold or money, food, iron, timber or wood, and stone. We use these for upkeep, for building things. And they're produced from the countryside, more or less. Some buildings can also contribute to that, but mostly it's like building improvements out here, which you'll see. We got our science, which is very, very basic. Civics is pretty interesting, as is training. So these two, you use them for things. That's why they're up here. But like changing laws and promoting units, for example, as well as upgrading. And your city will use them. So your city will be producing a certain amount of this stuff. But if you, say, build a military unit, it will stop contributing training to the global pool up here and will instead spend that on the unit. Same thing if you're building some buildings that require civics or some improvements that require civics, it will stop contributing to the global civics up here, which means you can hamstring yourself if you're like focusing your city. Anyway, that's probably too far into it. Other important things, legitimacy gives orders. So the higher legitimacy you have, the more orders you have, as well as the more that families like you. So we'll look into what that means. But orders are super important because your people can actually move pretty far. Okay, apparently you can't, but generally you can move quite far, and all of your units can move quite far, and potentially almost to an unlimited degree, because you could force march them by using training, for example. However, you can see here, if I move there, it says 7. I use 1 order to move 1 tile. That means I'm going down. I'm spending 1 order to move. And all units will use that. So you can move 1 unit across the entire map, or move 8 units. You can move potentially you can move 1 unit from here, 8 tiles. Okay, some of them can move more than 1 tile per order, but you get the idea. Or you can move 8 guys, they're 1 tile. So I really, really like that. It gives you the ability, if you spread too wide early on, you can really screw yourself. If you don't have the orders, good luck going to war. It's a really, really interesting mechanic that I'm a big fan of. Next up, we've got our families. So up here, well, we don't, okay, that's religion actually. Families? No families yet. This is religion. Okay, well, we don't have families yet because we haven't actually found anything. Here they are. Each nation gets different families. You have up to 4. Right, you start off with 4, and they each have different benefits to their cities. So if you found a city as Julius, you get additional orders, you get additional civics, you can unlock decree, which, whatever. You gain treasury, so that's 10 money per turn. You also just immediately get 400 civics, which is pretty nice when you found the first one. Valerius has a little bit of culture, a little bit of civics, can hurry production with money. You get minus to discontent levels. Per culture event. You also just gain a new court minister. Okay, cool. We're not going to worry too much about that because we do have a single minister here. Our brother, who's super pissed at us because he's vengeful. He thinks probably that he should be king. Okay, good to know. These guys, they grow a little bit faster. Growth being separate from food. We'll look into what citizens actually do. It's different from civilization, for example. You can make rural specialists faster. Grains give you money. You can buy tiles. You gain 2 citizens. Cool. And then finally, the Fabius, the champions. Family cities get an additional 2 training per year. Harder to attack. Higher defense. Units are with steadfast, which gives you a bonus against tribes and barbarians. The family seat, so the first one, gets 25% additional training, and you just get 400 training right off the bat. And that's what we're going with. Boom, settling Rome right there. We discovered a landmark, which just gives us +2 legitimacy. You love to see it. Escaped prisoners of the Gauls have reached Roma with a band of bounty hunters close behind. The Gauls demand that we return these outlaws so they may face justice. Apparently we've encountered the Gauls back there. We can welcome them like family. We gain culture. Culture, we'll leave that it is. Basically, it increases the level of your city, which kind of allows the city to have better improvements, as well as you get certain events when your level rises. There we go. You can just gain a citizen or return them to their captor, maintain the initial truce. We become strict, which is this. Leader gets +20 XP for new units, and the governor is 50 XP for new units. So we're not actually a governor yet, but a leader, 20 XP for new units. I mean, the thing is, we cannot go to war with the Gauls yet. So I'm going to have to do this. And then right off the bat, we can choose our research. Here's the tech tree. Boosh. Okay, we're not going to really worry too much, but I will say, so it's random. Here we go. It is random, right? You can see we've got 3 options here. It only gave us these 3. Could have potentially given us this one or this one, but it gave us those 3. But I can say, hey, you know what? I would like to see this one, and then it kind of weighs it in that direction. I don't know how strong it is. I mean, things may have even changed since we last looked, but or since I last kind of read about this. But we're gonna go, and I'm doing this because getting forestry I think is really important. You have no way to gain timber except from cutting down forests in the early game, and I think getting lumber mills as soon as possible is a really, really nice thing to do. So we're gonna focus in on that. Aside from that, quarries enable us to mine stone, which is really, really useful. This is your basic range unit. Camp is an improvement that you can put on certain bonus and luxury resources. Treasury just gives you some money per year. And granary you can put, it gives a tiny bit of growth, but what's really nice is if you put it next to farms, you put it next to a bunch of farms, it boosts those farms around it, I believe. It'll tell us here. 60% per adjacent granary. So you can get a really, really big bonus. If you put 2 farms next to a granary, it's better than a farm. Just like that. So cool. I think we're going to go with the quarry right off the bat, because I do want to get me some stone. I do like me some stone. So now we've got our worker here. What's interesting about the workers in this game is, so when I build something, if I build a farm here, it just gives me 6 food. I could have no population. I could have 1 population in a city. Found a new city. If I have 10 workers around it, I can put improvements all around it, and it will all of a sudden be generating a ton of stuff right off the bat. Obviously, that's not really practical or feasible, but I kind of like that, because it's just like, no, all you got to do is build the farm and the mine. You can use citizens to increase their production, but it's not necessary. What we're going to do, I'm actually going to come over here where we've got some ore, and I'm going to put a mine down, because right now we're actually losing iron per turn because we got upkeep on our warrior over here. But I find it to be rather important to make more of them very quickly. So we are just going to come down here, and it also gives +2 training. We can go and look into Rome. You can see Rome is giving us +15 training. A warrior requires 60. This gives +2. It's a small amount, but it does help, and I do really just want that ore as quickly as possible. So we're going to come down here. We're going to slap a mine down. It takes a bunch of turns. That's fine. Now we only have 4 orders left. You can see I can move him here, but then this is my my warrior. But then I can't move my scout, which I do want to do. So we are going to send the scout up here. A scarred veteran soldier. These are ruins, by the way. You must be familiar with that concept if you've played any kind of 4X games in a while. Ever. A scarred veteran soldier crouches in the ruin. She says that she once commanded the armies of a great nation before resistance brought it crashing down. She's willing to share her vast battlefield knowledge if we are willing to listen. We could either just acquire military drill. This is a moderately advanced technology that we could just learn right now, which would allow us to rally the troops. 75% chance troop rallied. I don't really know what that means. 25% rally troops event, as well as plus 80 training. But interesting, this is what's also really nice. It costs upkeep. So this is an urban improvement. You build it on the map using a worker. But it gives you 20% bonus to the training for that city. You can also put offices in there to increase the bonuses that you would get from here. Free XP for idle melee units. It does cost metal. Or we could have her join us. Boudicca the Younger. Boudicca? Isn't that a Gallic? Boudica. I'm thinking of Boudica, right? A Gallic warrior woman, leader, rebeller. I'm using terrible words here. She fought against the Romans and was murdered by the Romans. So we can actually have her join our court as a soldier. She is a hero. She is warlike. Yeah, okay. She's also bold. She's got 1 wisdom. So having her join, just straight up, she's going to give us plus 0.6 science. We can also then maybe later on assign her some other things. She's got some courage. She's going to give us a big bunch of training right off the bat. And does win a little bit of extra cash, which we are losing money. Not bad. You can also make her lead a unit, which with the courage, I mean, it doesn't actually tell us what it does, but it's not bad. I think I'm just going to have her join our troops. Boudica, welcome. And now you're going to see here, we have very little orders. I can add a general. I have so many options for generals here. Holy crap. I'm going to just slap in Boudica, I think. So she gets 21% bonus to combat strength, chance for a critical hit, and just flat 3 XP a year, and is immune to critical. If I had known that I had so many options here, I probably would not have taken her. Also, I kind of want to lead the troops here. We do get an extra move if I do it. We get a malice to critical, or that's combat strength, and a big bonus to critical. Boudica, you can take the first one. Takes an order. Okie dokie. There is a possibility for another city site down there. I think I'm going to move you up in this direction. And that's it. That's the end of our turn. We automatically build a settler by default, and I'm going to allow it. I do want to get a second city up as soon as possible. 6 for some reason is end turn. And there you go. We gain that XP. I am going to take you. And now you can see I can move him all the way down here. Now to move them there requires us to force march and therefore to train, which we're not going to do. I will move you here. There's a city site right there available for us. Okay. We've got 2 orders left. We're going to move you up in this direction. Oh, I can actually move you here. And we discovered the Po River. Confirmed. We're out of turns, so let's just end that year. You can see how orders really do kind of restrict you early on. I do want you... That city site is completely free. And there are some barbarians. And this is what we're going to go deal with as soon as possible we can. We're gonna go and knock out these barbarians so we can just settle on the rest of mainland Italy as quickly as possible. That's something we really want to do. Now, we're here, right? As our explorer, scout, whatever you want to call it. What actually? You're a scout. Whenever you go on to resources, you can actually harvest them. So I can say, hey, give me 10 food. Done. We found the Concilio Forest and the Alps, gaining some legitimacy. And we're done here. Moving towards stone cutting. We are bleeding cash. You are just going to come here and kill these barbarians. In 12 years, it will upgrade to an outpost, and I think that makes it harder to attack, and or it spits out more units. Something like that. We can come onto the horses and harvest them for 40 gold. Thank you. We can come over onto the cattle, harvest them for 8 food. It makes scouts actually useful, especially once you've kind of explored everything. You can just have them continually come around because these will refresh and allow us to harvest them again after a certain amount of time. Boom. We finished the ore mine. We're gaining a bunch more ore. That's really nice. Now we have to decide what we want to do next. What do we want to do next? Now we can go for some food and some growth, which now we can actually see we've got 1 citizen here. If I wanted to, I can put that citizen into this mine as a specialist. He will now occupy. It will spread our borders. It'll also give us +1 training and +8 per year, an additional +2 training, +1 science, and spreads the borders. It uses 40 civics, so this civics will no longer be going towards our pool up here. Just like, when we're building the settler, we're not growing. The growth goes into the settler instead of into the citizen itself. I am going to, however, no, we're still building this, so we don't need to worry about that. You can see here, we're at level 1, discontent. We came 12, 7 years, it's going to go up to level 2. It's just going to keep going insane. The discontent is just going to go skyrocketing. We're not going to actually worry about that right now. The question is, do we want growth with food? Do we want to build, for example, a Shrine of Mars? Shrine of Mars spreads Roman paganism. Yeah, okay. But more interestingly, does give +2 culture, which we talked about before, and +2 training. I think I'm probably going to have you... Hey, buddy. Just come out here. Build me some fishing nets. We do get attacked. And we will attack you back. So they spawned over here. What is it? A marauder. Okay, that's fine. We're going to keep on attacking this guy. And it's your turn. We've already harvested. We have met the Vandals. Hardy barbarian warlord strides into court demanding an audience. He declares that the Vandals will permit you to befriend them, but only if you recognize their superiority. Friendship will benefit us both. -20 opinion for 20 years for all families. Can't do this. Or we just go to war. Now, we do have the Fabius family. They like us reasonably. There are no effects. So I'm just, friendship will benefit us both. I don't really care if they get a little bit upset. What we want to do more than anything else is not have war. And these are the Alps? That doesn't pan out. That doesn't make sense. Okay, we're out of moves again. We are being attacked. Oh, and stone cutting is discovered. So now we get to pick. We can just... So this is always interesting. You can just get a stone boost. 4 years, 200 stone, just like that. All cities gain +5 border tiles. We only have the 1, so it's not great. This allows us to build pastures, which we will want. And this allows us to build monasteries. It also allows us to have governments. So we could choose between monotheism and polytheism, depending on what we wanted. Now, that's 12 years. It doesn't really seem very likely. 200 stone is a lot. But the thing is, how much does that move us towards our real goals here? That is the question, and it's a tough one. I think we'll go 8 years. Ugh, just give me this. We get very little science. Very, very little science. But we do have a settler who we are going to send right down here. He's out of moves. You can just go there. Thank you. You're vulnerable to an attack still, but that's okay. That's okay. You did your job. You cleared out that site. You're going to come down here And pick me up a sacred tomb. Our expedition approaches an ancient monument. The structure appears to be the tomb of a great leader. An inscription reads, "Passerby, whoever you may be, I was once king of kings. Grudge me not, therefore, this piece of earth that covers my body." We could leave it undisturbed. We could become gracious, just giving us +2 charisma. Greedy people won't like us, which is +8 global civics. Not bad. We could destroy it and gain legitimacy, or get a bunch of science. Now, one interesting thing is, in addition to what this obviously gives us, certain events require certain traits. Have some water. So picking this up can have unforeseen advantages. However, I'm just going to take the science. Okay, we're actually out of moves. Change production in Roma. I am immediately just going to go and pick up another warrior. Because we need to prepare for war. It is very likely to happen. War is maybe no said. We do get that stone boost, which is quite nice. A lot of stone that we get right off the bat. Now we have a choice. Trapping? I mean, what did we need for you? We need trapping. What's cool, once you get drama, you can actually listen to the music in the game. Odeons give you culture, right? Which enable more powerful buildings in the future and improvements, as well as giving a positive event when you level up to those certain things. Roads are nice. Slavery just gives you additional 5 orders per year, just straight up, but everyone's unhappy a little bit. Freedom just gives you a little bit more science. I think we are just going to go for trapping. And a marriage proposal arrived from the Fabius family for King Romulus, the founder. We can pick a bride. Right off the bat, Antonia. She is a hero, whereas she is a diplomat. -2 wisdom, so that would actually reduce her science by 2, but does give +3 civics. I don't really like that. And I also don't like that -8 cash. They're both pretty terrible. I would like the opposite. I don't care so much about the civics, but I guess we'll take it. Ria, forgive me. Welcome aboard. You can come here, and we are going to found a city. There's 4 of them, but you only ever get to actually keep 2 of them. There's Claudius, extra growth. Okay. This civic and culture, you can hurry production with money. Minus discontent levels is pretty useful. And we get a court minister. This one we just gain treasury, so that would help with our negative income right now. Does give orders as well, which I would freaking love. Welcome aboard? Statesman? Welcome aboard, Statesman. We are now known as the Explorer. So because we have done some of these things that they say, we gain additional legitimacy. Helena Forest, sure. We have made contacts with the Greeks. We could be humble. Cautious cultures might find it to be suspicious. We could be friendly. They are strength much stronger, and they are erudite. We boast about our nation's strength, leaving them little chance to speak. Let's go for that one. There's Athens. Where did we actually meet them that revealed it? Here, I guess? Yeah. Okay. Now you can see we actually gain more. Because our legitimacy has gone up, we now have +9. You can also buy them, and you sell them at the end of the turn as well. This is why we're actually gaining money, even if it's at a negative here. And, oh, we've had a baby. You, attack, please. So we can claim this city site. If we leave, it'll have a chance to come back, and somebody else can just move a unit on it and claim it. And then you can't do anything about it. Harvest some salt, please. Let's get salty. Okay, let's continue exploring up over here. We're out of moves already. Capua, Capua, Capua. Now, I think I'm going to go worker settler here. Or just straight into the settler. Yes, just straight in the settler. So you can actually see we didn't actually change our money here because we're losing 9 from maintenance, which is, it should show it somewhere over here. Maintenance. No, I don't know. We're losing 9 from maintenance, but we're gaining plus 10 from Capua. Money plus 10, maintenance 9.9. So otherwise we would actually be, if we didn't build these guys who do start with that treasury, we're not going to worry about this stuff just yet, we would be losing another 10. So that's quite nice. And we're out of orders. Exploration is very good because it does help you get more orders early on. So even though, like, yeah, we're spending orders on our explorer, it will come back to us. We also can choose centralization or vassalage because of a tech that we started with. And we've reached 400 civics. Centralization. This gives additional science and money in Rome, 25%, or vassalage, minus 50% unit consumption. So units consume potentially food, potentially iron, potentially timber. I don't think they consume stone. Right now, that's not a lot of bonus. I think we're going to go for vassalage. You can always change it later. We're going to go for vassalage, have less unit consumption. And now we have an ambition. So ambitions is one way to win the game. But also they give bonuses when you complete them. I think it's mostly legitimacy. Kill 5 enemy units or control 4 enemy cities. Both of those are very, very possible. I'm going to say control 4 cities. We've got 2. We are going to build a city here eventually and a city here eventually. And that's 4. You, my friend. Boudica is the general. Oh, she's been promoted. She can be a ranger. Bonus from trees or bonus versus melee. I will take the bonus from trees. I quite like them. Let's see. You have finished here. I am just going to go and improve the special tiles. Yeah, we're just going to keep going around in circles as we just go and explore everything. You can harvest some wine. Thank you. The Danube has been found. Give me some silver. Thank you. Oh, hi. A strange scroll sealed within a musty tomb. Surrounded by strange signs and sigils, our scouts discover an ancient but surprisingly well-preserved scroll. Thinking this unsettling, they bring it to you for judgment. While the writing is in an unknown language, it is oddly simple. It feels as if you could quickly learn it if you devoted some time to the task. We could become exotic. Just +1 charisma. That's a little bit more civics. Find someone. We get a court scholar or legitimacy. I think I want a court scholar. And we got posthumous, who is wisdom. Wow, he's actually quite good. He's very upset with me. Court scholar, archetype, judge. He's a delver, so quarries are better. But also 5 wisdom, 2 charisma, and 2 discipline. Really nice. Really nice bonuses all around. Why are you so upset with me? Because I'm a schemer. Fair enough. Well, all good. And actually, this seems like a fine time to put a cut in here. This is actually probably much longer than my normal episodes. Be about 10 minutes shorter than this, but it's the first one. I wanted to kind of get settled in a little bit. You know what it is. And yeah, really excited to go back into this game. It's been kind of like trailing on the back of my mind for a while. I even played it a little bit in my free time, just kind of testing it out on this difficulty and seeing how we could actually do, if it was even feasible. So I'm really, really happy to be back here and playing once more. Hope you guys are too, and that you're ready to join us on this journey into the old world. We are Rome. We are Romulus. Let's go get them. We found the Greeks. We know how that story ends. I mean, frankly, the Romans will conquer everyone that we'll encounter. Maybe not. Okay, not the Persians, and not the Babylonians either. And I think they were already conquered by the Persians by the time the Romans reached that region of the world. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited too. Like I said, I'm really pumped. This is unfortunate. It's kind of coming off of the back of a failed Star Traders game because of recording issues. But on the bright side, at least I get to play some RimWorld? Old World. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button and let me know, let the algorithm know. It helps out the channel, and I'm always appreciative, and it makes me happy. It brightens my day to see when a video gets a bunch of likes. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you want to catch more videos. I mean, I got strategy games, and usually strategy and tactics. It's kind of the kind of games that we got on this channel. If you're new here, and you don't want to miss all that stuff, 2 a day usually. Somehow I still manage 2 a day, even though my life has gotten exponentially bigger since I got a little puppy dog, who has actually been very quiet for this episode, which is quite nice. She was crying right before we started. It's the most sad, pathetic sound in the world, and it breaks my heart so much. My God. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy this episode, and if you have, like I said, don't forget to do those things. You can also find a link down to the Discord below, which we could use some fresh blood. It's been pretty quiet over there. You can also find my Twitter and link to my Patreon. Quick shout out to my patrons, Daniel Barasabu and Pasukaro. Much appreciated to the two of y'all. If you want to support the channel, you can do it there. And that's enough. We're going to go on. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, my name is Man the Maker. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful day.